Find your lack of faith disturbing. Get over here!
Great power comes great responsibility.
To enthuse about a specific topic, not realizing that most people listening will fail to understand it. That's a geek out. This is the show, The Geek Out Show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Gil, Black Hole Comics, and tonight we have a special guest, Trevor, aka One Six Shooter. What's going on, bud?
What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining
nice
us.
Figures there in front of you. Very nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just got Valican, so I was like, oh, I gotta.
Oh, sweet.
Bust out.
Nice.
Yeah, the Volgar, or is that what it is?
Yeah,
Baron Volgar, right?
Volgar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Volgar
With the Dragul head that
yeah.
Steph
That
sent
Dragul
me.
head is great. I love that head.
I really do like it a lot too. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I'm trying to build up some of these vamps a little bit, you know.
Let me tell you. So, like, when I first started collecting this stuff, I got some skeletons. I was really into the skeletons because I always loved like Ray Harryhausen stuff. Like when I growing up, and like, I mean, I'm not that old, but like I would see it on TV. The Sinbad and stuff. It was old at that time too, but even like the Clash of the Titans, the first one and stuff.
Great movie.
So I always wanted like great skeleton figures, and these were fantastic. So I got a bunch of those, and then I think I got a bunch of random stuff from a Wave orc. But I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to stick to skeletons and orcs and dwarves, and I think I'm going to skip the elves and the vampires and stuff. And then, like anything, you pick one up, and it's like, oh, I love these vampires. These are awesome. I got to go get all the vampires. And these elves are cool, too. I got to get these elves. So, yeah,
I'm kind of like right there with you. So I'm fairly new to the line. I'm like a little bit over a year with the line.
Yeah.
I missed out on the Alethea wave. Like right when I started like deciding like, okay, I'll jump into Legions. Like it had just passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got this actually from BBTS, and now that they have it in stock, so they shipped it out to me. But I'm just like, man, I wish a couple more weeks earlier I would have decided to jump in, so I could have got in on that Alethea wave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh well.
But you are coming to Legions Con.
Yes. So
Okay.
this is our road
So
to
you'll be able
Legions Con. Yeah.
Right.
Going to Legions Con, yes, sir.
So you'll pick them up. You'll get them.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick them up in person for sure. I was like, I got to get those. I got to get Varg. I got to get the Bulgar 2. Got to get. I can't remember what the orc size one or the ogre size one is, but I need that bad boy.
Decebalus.
Yeah, he's big ass vamp. I was like, I need that. I definitely need that.
That's cool. That's
I'm trying to have rules, but like people like Walter keep on saying like rules are meant to be broken, and he's good and he's bad. He's a bad person for peer pressure. He definitely is. He's like, no, man. He's like, rules are meant to be broken. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm just like, oh shit, oops. I was like, no, man. I'm trying to stick to my guns. And he's like, no, like they're meant to be broken. And I was like, shit. So I'm trying to stick to vamps, orcs, and elves. That's it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to that. Because people like yourself, when they take an amazing shot of like, 30, 40, 50 skeletons as like an army, I'm just like, that's beautiful.
I know. And yeah, I know. It's
KJ, what's up?
I'm in this, man. I'm like in it for for the long haul, and obviously, and I'm just getting everything. So, oops, that's not what I want to do. I'm trying to share the show.
David?
Sorry, just trying
it's all good.
Put my story up there and get this out of there.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean it is hard, and I see stuff all the time, and that's kind of how I got hooked into the.
Eduardo, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? that's how I got sucked into the line. I didn't even know they existed. I missed the Kickstarter, and I started seeing these pictures from toy photographers. Some of these guys aren't even around anymore, but like knights and the birds and stuff like that. And I
Hmm.
was like, what the hell is this, man? Like there's knight figures, and I'm like, what the hell are these? So I was asking around. I'm like, yeah, these are 6-inch figures. I'm like, holy crap, I got to get these things. How do I get them? Well, you missed the Kickstarter, so it was really, you can get them on BBTS. I did go onto like wasn't BBTS, but something else, and ordered a bunch of them at retail, which, hurts now that you can get these things at, a better price directly from the horseman. But, you got
Yeah.
to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the unfortunate things. Like if you don't jump in right when the pre-order goes up, you get them for a little bit marked up, but it's not too bad as compared to like a year, 2 years, 3 years after they have released, and it's like
Yeah.
double
Obviously.
to triple retail. So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
funny. I was talking to, so I was at New York Comic Con over the weekend, and
I seen.
yeah,
Awesome.
so I'm talking to the Hasbro dudes,
Hmm.
Ryan and Dan and Dwight were there,
Hmm.
and Dwight told me he bought his first. He said it was a Mythic Legion. He knows. I don't know if he knows it's not Mythic Legions, but whatever. He bought the Horseman. He bought the Headless Horseman,
Okay.
and he's like, "This is my first, Four Horseman figure." And I'm like, "All right." I'm like, what?
Figure
He's like, "Well,
obscura. All right.
yeah." He's like, "Yeah, the pictures kind of sucked me in." I'm like, I'm like, "Feel free to put that up online, man. That would be really nice to
You're
hear
like, all
that."
right. I did my job. I
Exactly,
did my
exactly.
fucking job.
But he's like, "Oh, I love him." He's like, I've seen him before. That's my first one I bought, but I've played with them before, and they're amazing, and I'd love to get into them." He's like, "It's just like it's such a
Mythical
deep rabbit
legions.
hole." You know what I mean? Like,
It's okay.
I got to go back and get them. And they're expensive. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, did you get into Cosmic Legions? Did you get those? He's like, what are Cosmic Legions? So I showed
Oh
him all the pictures
shit.
of the Cosmic Legions, and he's like, oh, those look pretty good.
Yeah, I can't wait for those either. Those are going to be pretty sweet to check out over at Legion's Con in person and stuff like that. To
Oh
just see them
yeah,
and the
yeah.
prototypes and whatnot. Agartha, I think a bunch of people have made that mistake before, saying mythical legions is, it's all good. He
Oh
said that before he got into it, he was such a noob, and he used to call them mythical legions. I'm sure that's an honest mistake, and a bunch of people make that mistake always.
yeah. Or it was what was the other one I heard? Mythic Legends
Oh,
or
mythic legends. Okay,
Mystic Legends. People used to
mystic
say, oh,
legends.
you
Oh
got
shit,
this
that
Mystic
sounds
Legend.
badass. That actually sounds kind of badass there,
Yeah,
Mystic Legends.
Mystic Legends. I'm sure that'll be the Chinese knockoff when they start doing that.
Hey, there you
Mystic
go.
Legends. You'll find them in the $5 store, Mystic Legends, and they'll have like weird heads and all sorts of shit.
Discoloration and shit.
Exactly. Like,
I'll be looking forward to that, to seeing them over like Five
oh,
Below or something like
totally.
that.
I would love that.
Or the $1 store. Well, Trevor, the reason that we brought you here, for the most part, is to just get a little bit more about, to get to know you a little bit better. And we do something called the geeky background check. It's a little bit of a gauntlet of questions
Oh, Christ.
that if
Forgot
you
about this.
pass, we can move on. If not, I got to end the interview and I got to kick you off. You get the gong, kind of like the Gong Show. Gong. I got to get one like set up like right here.
Dude,
You know,
Gong
so
Show reference. All right. Too young for a Gong Show reference, but okay. Yeah.
you know what's funny is I was doing a garage sale
Mhm.
with my aunt yesterday, and she found a bunch of old cards that she hasn't seen in like years, and there was like some cards from the Gong Show. That's why it's fresh in my mind.
Whoa.
That's why they're like, I
Wow.
had no
That's
idea they
cool.
had a trading card set. I was like, what the fuck?
There was
That blew
trading
my
card
mind.
sets for everything back then, man. It was a weird time.
Yeah, and then she also had some of I don't remember, something in Morty. It was the Robin Williams Mick and Morty. Is that what it was, or something in Morty?
Oh, more. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, now I
Yeah,
really
that.
feel old. I
It was
really feel
it
old.
was a bunch
Mork
of
and
stuff.
Mindy. It was Mork and
Mork,
Mindy.
there we go. Mork and Mindy. That's what it was. And it was
Oh
like,
my god.
you know what though? I was like, you know what? I need one of those trading cards. And what was actually pretty awesome, in the center of it, it actually, you could peel it off as a sticker.
Oh yeah.
That's the first
Yep.
time I've ever seen that gimmick before. And I was like, holy shit, this is kind of cool. So I took
was,
one of those. I took one from the Gong Show. There's some from Rocky 2 as well.
Nanu.
So yes, damn, way back. I remember that show as a little peanut at Gardavel says. So Trevor,
Robin Williams' breakout. Yep.
where did it all start for you? Being like geeky. the geekdom,
Oh,
the
very, very
nerd stuff.
young. So I'm old enough to not only remember Mork and Mindy, watching it first run. I also saw Star Wars in the theater, drive-in theater, and I was pretty young, but like I do remember it. You know what I mean? And I do remember like Darth Vader coming into the Tantive, walking through the door, and I was just like, I'm in, man. This is whatever this is. I want everything to do with this. And at the time, like, that was one of the first movies that like had toys associated with it, really
Mhm.
directly. And so I didn't even know that like that's what I want. I just like I loved everything about this. I just wanted to play Star Wars and whatever. So kind of started there because before that, um, I had toys, but like some of the old GI Joes. Yes, there were GI Joes before the cartoon, that my cousin had given me or something. But yeah, that started, man. And then like from then on, it was all about science fiction, comic books, the X-Men in the 70s and 80s. And I still have like here, I can show you where it started.
Yeah, let's go.
So this better get me like two questions. I better get a pass for this
I,
actually.
th- I think so because I mean you're talking about comics and toys already. So oh yes, throwback, sir. Yes, I remember those.
Oh yeah. So still, these are all the original ones that I had as a kid.
The OG
And
Kenner. All
still
right.
all got all the guns and all the weapons and stuff for them. So I was like an anal retentive kid. I got upset, very upset if I lost a gun somewhere. Um, I did.
Yeah, Seth, you're missing out. Seth couldn't
Um,
make it tonight. He's one of my guys,
oh, too
part of the
bad, man.
crew.
Jump on when you can.
He's putting down the kids right now, so it's like,
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
oh, give me
Um,
15 minutes. I'll hop on. All right, we'll see. We'll see. And then Edgardo, I remember my father taking me to see Superman 2 like it was yesterday. Damn. Okay, that's
yep,
awesome. That's
Superman
cool.
2 was great. Superman was great. That was another thing. I mean, it was all that stuff, man. I was just like into it, and I wasn't like a total nerd in high school or anything like that. I was in like metal bands and stuff, which I guess is kind of nerdy anyway.
It's nerdy
Um,
in a different way, like, but it's
it
still
is nerdy in a
technically
different
nerd.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah. But all those guys, all those guys in the bands, man, they were all into the same stuff, into comic books and shit like that. So there's something about music and nerddom that goes along. Like there's a lot of that crossover there.
I definitely say
Um,
so. Hmm.
so yeah, that's how that started. Yeah.
Well, you talked a little bit about comics. You talked a little bit about figures. What about anime? Is anime a thing to you? Not even just traditional Japanese anime, but it could be animation, Western animation as well.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, so what was the God? This just on Netflix. Based on there's figures. God, I'm blanking on the name. It starts with an A, I think. Can you help me out? No,
Akira
no, not Akira. I'll look it
starts
up.
with that A.
I think so. It was excellent. It just won awards like for the best animation.
Hmm.
It's based on that video game, and there's figures and
Oh shit! Arcane.
Arcane. Thank you,
Yeah,
Arcane. Oh my
dude. Yeah,
god, that
that
was
was a
excellent.
kick-ass.
That
That was a
was
kick-ass season.
fucking incredible, man.
Who is that? Oh, hey, Matt. Major
What's up, boys?
reaction
How we doing?
from the
What's up?
car. Yo,
Really?
what's up?
Remote.
Remote. What's up, dude? What's going on?
But yeah, that was fantastic. But I do like so I'm not huge on Japanese anime, but
Mhm.
I do watch My Hero Academia. My friend Tom Iwawatu got me
Yep.
into My Hero Academia, and I do like it. I'm way behind, but I did like binge it for like 2 seasons. Um, Attack on Titan, I like.
Great
I
anime.
like. I like. I mean, Akira, obviously, and then weird things like Ghost of Fireflies, which is really depressing, but it's great anime. Yeah, but I'm not into like Dragon Ball and stuff like that. I've
It's
tried.
all
It
good.
wasn't. I was too old for that. You know what I mean when it came out, and
Yeah.
I've tried to go back and watch it, and I just like I don't know. To me, no offense to anyone who loves it, it just looks like a bunch of overhyped hype dudes like beating the shit out of each other, which
You're,
maybe
you're not
what
exactly
it is.
missing out on anything.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, it's one of those. I guess like a basic anime. It's probably the most popular, but it's definitely like just it's basic, basic, and you're not missing out on any substance there really.
Yeah, I'm aware of a lot of them. I mean, Naruto and stuff like that, and I've watched. I mean, so I like stuff like I know it's not considered anime because I think it's made here or wherever. It's just not made in Japan, but the
Avatar.
blank. No, Avatar's good.
Oh my god, Avatar is fucking great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the live action because like
Oh yes, sir, absolutely.
Paul Sung-young Lee is in that.
Yes, sir.
I say
Appa.
he's I consider him a friend, but he's not really a friend. I mean, he's an acquaintance of mine. But I look forward to everything he's in. You know, he's going to be in Mando again this year and stuff like that. So he's just a good dude. So can't wait to see.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So yeah,
Yeah.
I dabble in anime.
I'd say that that's a check. You check, and then what about video games? Gaming could include tabletop here. Just to
I
let
have
you know.
not played. I haven't Xbox. I tried to get a PlayStation 5, but I've always been an Xbox guy, so I have Xbox One.
All right, man. We're gonna have to end it. All
Yeah,
right,
I know.
See you later.
No, I want a PlayStation. Find me one.
Yeah, no, that is hard to find one.
I just never got the 4, and because I was in the Xbox ecosystem from way back. You know what I mean? I think possibly I got the first one before there was PlayStation. I'm not sure if that was the timeline is right. But anyway, I've been playing Xbox for a long time. What?
Gardo says like half the episode is just like him screaming.
This is why I tried to watch it. I'm like, this is not for me, man. I can't get into this.
Yeah.
But
if you really want that PlayStation, you should hit up our boy Jade in Texas because he got the hand on him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got me one. Actually, that's how I have mine.
I really wanted it to play the Spider-Man game. That's all I really wanted to do. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to get it for the Spider-Man game, I'll just jump into PlayStation. You know, I don't care. I don't have that much of I'm not that into Xbox in terms of like my stats or anything like that I really care. I used to be. I bought Elden Ring. I haven't touched it. It's time for me is the problem with video games. Like I just
absolutely
don't have time. I mean, to watch everything that's great on TV, to take pictures, to do any kind of customizing, painting, to do these YouTube shows. I have to see my family every once in a while. You know? So it's like,
yeah, right.
Something's got to give. So it's games. Basically.
Yeah, definitely. Seth, I sent you a link to your IG. Check your messenger.
Every now and then you got to eat dinner and go to the bathroom. You can't.
Occasionally you got to pee. Yeah.
It's funny because I got my PlayStation 4 for the Spider-Man game as well because like I was kind of behind on the times for the longest time.
I just got a free PS4. Wow, nice, Edgardo. Who hooked you up with that free PS4? Wow. That's what's up.
That's probably what I should do. Is just look for somebody who's like trying to get rid of the PS4. Just like here, take it.
Right.
Play Spider-Man and
get
it out of my system and done.
I took my PS4 over to GameStop and just to see how much they would give me. They gave me $170, which I was like surprised. Good. I was like, oh, okay, I'll take that.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I wasn't expecting that. What about TVs and you kind of already said it, but TV and movies? I mean, you can already answer Star Wars.
I love, I indulge in a lot of stuff. And luckily my wife is not like a nerd, but she likes those movies. She enjoys them. She's like a closet nerd, she's professional and all that stuff, but she likes the stuff. So that's good because I'd have to find time to watch that stuff on my own too if that wasn't the case. But we watch everything. Game of Thrones. I'm really into Rings of Power. I love that. I love all the Marvel. I don't love all the Marvel shows, but I'm enjoying She-Hulk. It's a little... There needs to be more of a thread through that, but I don't want to get into details. But
I feel you there.
But I love documentaries. Yeah, I'm all over the place, man. And movies, I don't think I probably get enough like horror stuff. I'm really loving like Korean horror.
Oh, yes.
I'm just putting out amazing stuff.
Can I ask you if you've watched, I think it's Incantation on Netflix?
No, but I've heard that's
very
good.
I am a huge advocate for that fucking movie, dude. It is great. I loved it a lot.
Okay. You're probably the second or third person I've heard that's say that.
I've been trying to tell everybody who likes horror to check that movie out. It is kind of creepy, a little bit of possession and this and that. And,
see, I like that stuff. The body horror isn't really my thing. I mean, not that I'm like grossed out, but I'm sort of. But like, I like more like there was that Netflix show about the priest on that island. What the hell was?
Oh yeah, Midnight Mass.
Oh, Midnight Mass. Yeah.
Excellent, that was a good one.
Man. So good, so good.
I did not expect that twist when the vampire showed up. Like I was like, wait, what?
Spoilers. No,
Supernatural.
If you haven't watched Midnight Mass by now, you're
it's
behind.
a year ago. I know. Yeah.
Netflix. There's an Oriental zombie series. What is it called, Edgardo? I'm going to check that out.
All of Us Are Dead.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
All of Us Are Dead.
That one was good. Me and my daughter watched that one together.
Yep, I've heard of that one.
I'm gonna check.
Train to Busan 2 is out, and I still haven't watched that.
Wait, number 2 is out?
I heard it's better than the first.
Yeah, I think it's out,
dude. Because number
That's
1
what somebody
is
told me,
great,
and I was like,
dude.
"Oh, that movie was one of the best."
Dude, I'm gonna have to check that guy out. Because
there's also the animated.
If you like zombie stuff, if you haven't watched Black Summer on Netflix,
I have not watched that.
My God. No. It blows away The Walking Dead. It's so
okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Good. I love
we got Darth Seth. I mean Seth on.
What's up, everybody? What's up,
Trevor? Add Seth, yeah.
Darth Tyson.
What's up, Trevor?
At first, I thought that was like a filter. I didn't realize it was an actual mask. I was like, "How are you doing that?"
So,
that's a great mask. I have that mask. It's awesome.
It's a different title. What is it called, Edgardo? It's not the one that you were telling me. All of Us Are Dead.
I don't know.
Matt, it's something else.
Oh, well, that's
so
a good
let
one
us know
too.
what it is.
Speaking of Midnight Mass,
is it Alone?
There's or isn't that the same series as like Bly Manor and stuff? Like the same creators,
same director.
Don't know.
Well, they just got a new one.
It's Mike Flanagan.
The Midnight Club or something like that. From the same creators as Bly Manor.
Oh, the Midnight Club or whatever.
Yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in, but
I'm gonna check that one out.
So we're gonna wait for Edgardo to respond. So, anyways, Trevor, I'd say that you definitely do pass with flying colors, bro. And we're gonna have a little goodie bag for you when we see you over at Legion's Con. That's why, like, I had messaged you and asked you, like, hey, what's your T-shirt size? So we're gonna have a T-shirt and then some stickers and some other goodies for you. All right.
I'm glad because I came in.
Trevor, I thought you guys were never gonna get to my interview. Let's go.
I came in ready to force. I was gonna force choke you.
I'm tired of talking about myself, honestly, so it's fine.
Well, just if anybody doesn't know, I don't know who wouldn't know who Trevor is, but if you don't know who he is, he does a little bit of photographies. You know, just a little. He dabbles in photos and some toy photos, just a little bit. Oh, attempt.
I try.
Just all the promotional pictures for Mythic Legions and a couple others, right? You've done photos for other lines too.
Yeah, I've done 1/6 stuff for a company called QMX and Exo6, who has all the Star Trek 1/6 figures now. Nice. I mean, I've done some reviews on Asmus and stuff for them, but not their photography per se. But and a lot of vinyl toys, which is interesting. It's an interesting world, the vinyl toys. Very expensive thing.
A lot of designer stuff.
Yeah, those designer toys. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, they don't move a lot, but they cost $120 a piece. It's very strange.
Which is
that guy in the very bottom. He knows more about that than me. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Seth down there.
The calls and the Ron English and all those.
Yeah. Okay, so you know, yeah. It's cool stuff, man. I wouldn't want to go down that road because I have enough, but every time I get sent something, I kind of like, wow, this is kind of cool. I could put this on the shelf.
You're like, can I keep this or do I have to send it back?
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm going to send it back because like I don't want to even like have it around to tempt me to buy anything else.
Yeah, those.
Then you got to have a collection. That's the way my mind, it's like, oh yeah, I got one. I may as well have two, right?
Well, I know that we're technically here for Legions, 100. But you do shoot more than just Legions. So this is a 1/6 scale sideshow collectibles Hot Toys Bando, correct?
It's Hot Toys, and it's a custom sculpt that I just got. Now I bought the custom sculpt and had it painted by somebody
I got
prior to them coming out.
and 357 apartment, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Prior to Hot Toys coming out with their announcement that their next version of Mando, which now would be all chromed out, after you've just bought this one,
Yeah,
and
of
will
course they would
include
do that.
and will include an unmasked sculpt. So I've got that one coming, but yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
this
here we
is
go.
the
This has been the talk of the
promotional
town.
art that got Dwight to pull the trigger on his
That's
first
right.
ever Four Horsemen figure, a figura obscura, the Headless Horseman. And man, you fucking killed it. And we got Brian's torches right here. Shout out to
Yep.
Carver Customs. His torches are right there. But man, just what you did here with the lighting, with that blue tone, just made it very ominous, very spooky, definitely Sleepy Hollow vibes right there.
Yeah.
And I know a little bit about photography too. Notice how I said lighting?
I know.
I was like,
I know.
and here we get like the BTS. We get the we get the setup right here.
Yep.
Man, you did
This
a
worked
kick-ass job.
This worked out so well because of that. Half of the time, I'm like, well, I try to minimize like the digital backgrounds in the shots for the most part. Like I'll try to put stuff in front and I try to make like the digital background like 20-30% max of a shot. And usually it's out of focus or it's I have fog in there, so it's kind of obscuring it a little bit. Only because it's not my work, but it is. I mean, I'm paying for this stuff. I'm not just pulling it off Google, so technically, legally, I have the right to use it. But with this one, well, no, it's important. Like when
Putting
you're
that out
selling stuff. Yeah, no, yeah, seriously.
No, but you want to be like more tangible with most of your stuff, so that way there's actual elements that are real in there.
Yeah, listen, I mean, if I had all those trees, I would try to make this, a forest.
I thought you did. I thought you went to the forest and laid on your belly and waited for him to come.
But with that one, like that path worked out so well, coming from the background, and you can. It's a subtle thing, but you can see it under the horse's legs. It just looks like the bridge like came right off his path, so it worked out so well.
And it's dope too because you didn't need like a full diorama. You got the bridge, and that's like your focal point, and then everything else just blends together really nicely.
Yeah, that tree is real, so that's a tree I made right there. There's some brush. That other tree from that tree is actually in the back. The all mangled or tangled tree is from the McFarlane Headless Horseman from years ago.
Nice,
sweet. I seen that. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
From the
I got that whole figure set from a friend for free. Some homeless dude left it outside of his apartment one time, so he's all, here you go.
Okay.
I was like, hell yeah.
And this one too, with the lighting of the moon in the background, just beautiful, man. Got the tree up here, up in center. Got a little bit of fog down here. Got some tombstones. You got the gate. Looks great. Looks like you have that tree back there again.
And I thought that one was a digital render. Like, that's crazy.
Well, some of the gravestones are in the background, but you can't really see them. That's why I'm saying, like, it's the moon that's basically peeking through.
Yeah, just know the whole lighting and everything just gives it more of like a painting look than an actual photo. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. And when it works and people say, wow, it looks like a painting, that's like the best compliment, because that's really, like, my inspiration is like Frazetta and the Hildebrandt brothers and things like that, fantasy artists and stuff like that. So I try to get that feel into it and, take it apart from being. It's hard to try to take a product shot because this is essentially a product shot. I have to show off the product.
Yes.
But these guys know, and they're really good about it. There are some other clients who don't really understand it, that this is the kind of stuff that sells the product. Like another client might say, well, you got to show the legs of the horse, or it doesn't show enough of the color of the figure. Like, people see, there's other pictures with the color of the figure. This is going to make it look like, oh my God, is this what it's going to look like on my shelf? I want this thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
this is the selling photo. This is what,
that's the money.
Like you said, right that's because like when you look at this, like Matt had said, it looks like a painting. It looks cinematic. It looks, man, yeah. When I seen it go up, I was just like, "Oof, I cannot wait."
And for a lot of us photographers, we see that and we're like, "Oh man, can I?"
Kind of broke up there, Matt.
I'm like, when I see that, I'm like, can I emulate that? I want to try to copy it or like, get something close to it when I take a shot. Like, I'm like, oh shoot, he did that with this figure. I could do that, or try to,
That's the thing, yeah. And whether you can or you can't, you may feel like you can, and you may do a good job of it, or you may be, I mean, and that's the other reason I put like behind the scenes shots in here too. A lot of people like thank me. Like, I don't know who the people are. I mean, I know when I first got into this years ago, it was like there was a little bit of a guard around some people about showing how
The
they
title
did
is
things and
Kingdom.
stuff like that.
I'm gonna check that out at Gardabil.
That's like one of the first zombie, ones that came up on Netflix.
I remember that. But I mean, I didn't make this shit up. You know what I mean? These are all photography techniques for the most part. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to share stuff.
That's what I wanted to bring up too. I know your name's like 1/6 shooter, but I know that you've had to kind of change scales to 1/12. So I know you started off with Star Wars and things like that. What brought you into the Mythic Legions community in particular?
That's a good question. Yeah, I know the name is like, I'm stuck with the name now, man. There's nothing.
It's too well known now. You can't go back.
Yeah, at this point, I can't change it. And 1/12 shooter doesn't sound as good.
I think there already is one too. So you're.
I think so too. Yeah, I noticed that.
They're like, I'm going to beat him to the punch.
That's right. He's probably just sitting on the title, waiting for me to pay him for it.
Yep.
So Mythic Legions came about that I was just telling Gil that I saw some photographers online shooting like the knights, like from the Kickstarter and stuff, and I was like, whoa. I love fantasy, but there was really no fantasy line except the Lord of the Rings line that had been already a couple of years even then kind of
dead
off the shelves, and you couldn't find them or they were expensive or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, somebody's got knights. Wait a minute, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? So I texted a couple people that photographers that I knew. I'm like, what are these things? And they're like, oh, the Mythic Legions. I'm like, where do I get them? And they're like, well, they were on a Kickstarter. I don't know. Like, they're up different places now. You can get them. So I did go and get a few, but then there happened to be, I think I picked on, oh God, what the hell was my first wave? I want to say it was Coliseum.
Okay.
So Coliseum was the first one that I picked up an in-stock sale from, and I got 2 Keltises. Like, I didn't even want 2 Keltises. Nice. I just kept like clicking stuff because it was nuts back then. Before, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys were in back then, but like, it was just like, an in-stock sale is kind of similar now, but it was just like,
fast.
You just had to click. Like, you just don't you don't even look at like what you got in the cart, and then you just go check out. So I ended up getting 2 Keltises, some knights. I don't even know what else, an orc. So I got it just like everybody else. I got it in hand. I open the freaking box. I start playing with the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool, man. This is the way it moves. I still have like the first Keltis shot like way down. I don't know if you'll have to be scrolling forever, but
that's a dope shot.
So that was it. Yeah.
Whoa! What the hell?
Took me a long time to get to Otho.
Yeah, my first one that I had was Bulgar, and like exactly what you're describing, Trevor. Like when I had it, I was like, okay, so this is what all the hype's about. This is pretty fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, it was amazing.
Not to dismiss any of your 1/6 stuff here, but
no, I know
it Legions focused.
Centered. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, feel but here we go, some knights, and man, talk about gorgeous. Are those all Legions horses?
Those are all Legions horses. Yeah.
Damn. And
are those Strupp family crafts?
That's what I was going to ask. The Strupp.
No, that's Max Bird.
Okay, Max Bird. Okay.
I think they're all Max Bird. I do have some Strupp stuff, but I think those happened. I got those before they were doing any of the what are they called? Kara. Whatever it is, I don't know. I can't.
And those are dope.
Think of the word. Yeah, really, really nice, and like just the movement, like there's wiring in that little piece, that little drape that goes over it.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
They're cool to shoot, man. I don't think about the Templars a lot. They're not my favorite thing now anymore, but with all this
what's
stuff,
your favorite right now?
To shoot
the Skellies still.
I still love the Skellies. Yeah, I got to tell you, the vampires, man. I really like the vampires.
Hell yeah.
The vampire. The Lithia wave was my wave because I love the Xylona's flock, and I love the vampires. Yeah, they're fun to shoot.
Yeah, there's some great looking characters in the Lithia wave.
Oh, Valak is great awesome. Wave, man.
This right here, you got this big beast of a troll right here up front. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bardrick? Yeah,
Bardrick. Lord Bardrick. Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I really love this shot. This shot for me, every time I can't say every time I take a new shot, but like this just culminated in a lot of things that I've been wanting to do and make it really feel like, again, like fantasy art. So
you're trying to envision Frazetta every time you do it.
Yeah, Frazetta, or if I don't know if any of you guys are into D&D, but the Hildebrandt brothers did a lot of illustrations for that stuff, and other illustrators from the D&D era. But yeah, just get that kind of feel, that painterly fantasy feel, and try to get a story and the composition. Just trying to get, with that troll one, it's like it all centers the troll kind of frames, Bardrick and the elves and stuff like that. It's always great when you can pull that stuff off.
Yeah. Not everybody could pull off multiple figures in a photo either. Some of it kind of gets lost. So you do a great job of framing and everything.
Thanks. It's tricky, yeah. Like the Otho one was tricky too, but that came out pretty well. I like that one too.
That's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned the D&D reference. I was also getting like some hard magic vibes too from some of them, just like the way you paint with the lights and stuff.
That's what a lot of the younger viewers have said. Yeah, magic. I used to collect Magic. I never really played the game, much like I had all the D&D stuff, and I never really played the game much more than a handful of times. But I love the idea of it, and I love that art. I mean, that's the same type of art. That's the art. Yeah, that's exactly
it. Was the art that actually got me into the cards, and then I learned to play. But when I was younger, I just collected for the art alone, and then started actually playing and realized how fun it was too.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's an expensive hobby, so I gave that up a long time ago.
Man, Boreas looks great.
Yeah. This is a great figure right here. I love this
guy. Yeah.
I need Dubon.
Can't wait for Dubon.
Dubon's going to be a beast. What you call it?
I'm going to have to get him at Legion's Con. I didn't order anything from that wave, unfortunately.
Yeah, some similar part. Now that I'm looking,
I'm taking my chances.
Starting to identify some of the parts here, some of the similar parts as Valak and whatnot.
Yeah.
I really do like his, I don't know, what is that, a hawk?
It's like a falcon. It's an owl, isn't it?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
But I'm like,
I would say a falcon.
To this bird.
Could be a falcon.
Right here. Yeah. Man, this, when you showed it, or when it got revealed, and I was just like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. This is awesome. I cannot wait.
This shot I kept coming back to because I was like, okay, well, who can I skip out on the line? And I just kept seeing this because I was like, I don't need another female knight figure. And then I kept seeing the shot. I was like, God, but she looks so good.
She looks so badass.
That's what I love seeing, man. Like when it's like you see, I mean, like the product shot itself on black looks cool, and she does really look cool. Like her eyes being red and the black around them looks really cool. Mm-hmm. But like, I can see a lot of people are like not into the 2.0 bodies, or just like, I don't need another female knight or whatever. But then you put it in a situation where she just looks so fucking evil, man. It's like
she does.
Oh, like I do need a female evil cleric. Damn it.
Yeah, there's comments in here that people are like, man, I was gonna pass on this one, and now I gotta buy it. I'm like, thank you, good.
Yes, we will all be at Legion's Con. That is correct.
Brian, what's going on, bro?
Up, man?
Carver Customs is here.
We are excited, and we're counting down the days. 1 month left.
At Gardavel, yes, we will all be there. All four of us, plus Jade, our other co-host. He will also be there as well. So yeah, it should be fun. It's our first ever Legion's Con for the four of us, me, Seth, Jade, and Matt. This is your second time, correct? Or
it's my third time.
Third time.
Okay, sorry, third time. Yeah.
I was gonna say Trevor pretty much started this thing.
Yeah, he's been.
No, but I was there for the first one. There was only about a dozen of us, and we were out spilling out in the hallway and stuff, and it was wild. Actually, won a stone or forest troll there. Actually, that was pretty cool.
Oh shit!
Oh, nice. Damn.
Yeah.
See, like I know that I told you at the beginning of this, Trevor, I was going to try to keep my rules, but see, with a shot like this, you're making me want to get some of the goblins, man. I'm just like, that looks fucking over there. Sweet.
This was the one I wanted the most, though, Swig, just because I really like the idea of the like goblin alchemist or sorcerer or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely be picking this guy up when I see him.
Plus, he's going to make a great green goblin custom for somebody. Probably a meal.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, those soft goods are great though too. I love CJ's soft goods. He's just really stepped up the game with the newest waves.
The details in these latest 2 waves of figures with the belts and the soft goods, it's amazing. Really,
it's so
all the
insane,
leather work looks hella nice and detailed. Like the
price
plastic
is
they're
only gone
using
up a
is
couple
so
bucks.
soft.
It's incredible.
That's what's insane.
Blowing legends out of the water, man. Blowing them out.
Okay, I didn't want to throw anybody under the bus, but there you go.
Price-wise.
Yeah. People wonder why I'm like such a hater on Legends now. It's like, dude, the value is just not there anymore. It's like it used to be the $20 figure go-to. Now it's like, sorry, I'd rather get a Legion for the price of a Legend. Like what?
Yeah, exactly. It's only a couple bucks difference.
More than $20 now.
Well, yeah, he still has a couple at 20, then he has 25, then he has that 30 something, and then like a 50. I don't know. He has like a multi-tiered, depending on how big the figure is, and if it comes with the bath piece and this and that.
Right. I don't know if you know this, but the swig doesn't come with that vial that he has there.
Oh, really? It doesn't come with this?
Oh, you guys didn't know this? Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
I thought he came with something, some little thinger.
This is a big joke. This was a big joke on because I showed Jeremy, like, we go back and forth on like getting what we're gonna do and the bios on these. Because when I get them, I don't necessarily have the bios. So he'll send me the bios, so I know how to like pose them and put them into a position that they'd be likely to be in. And I'm like, well, he's an alchemist. I don't really, I'm just gonna put him in the battlefield because he was, giving potions to people who are, goblins who are falling or whatever, or to fight on or whatever. I have this little jar, I'm going to put his hand. Jeremy's like, yeah. Okay. So we did it and then everybody's like, oh, I love that jar. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't come with the jar. And Jeremy's like, yeah, it doesn't come with the jar. Everybody's like, what? I'm like,
why'd you shoot him with the jar? That's what.
So after this, we're like, I think Jeremy was like, the next time around is like, there was something coming up. I can't remember what figure it was, but like, let's not use it. I'm like, oh, believe me. I'm never using anything that the figure is actually holding or could have as an accessory, unless it's in the background or something like that.
Learned your lesson, huh?
I mean,
I
wouldn't think it was that big a deal, though. But like, yeah, you can buy. Well, I put the link up to them because you can literally buy them on Amazon for like $4. So you can get like 5 of them for $4. So go and buy them.
That's better than Michael's. Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be buying them for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The Guardian of the Green over here, revealed by D Amazing Darius. Yeah, man, beautiful shot.
Yeah.
This one,
this was fun.
Azar.
This
is awesome.
See, doesn't come with the skull and books either in the back.
But it comes with the cauldron, right?
I did actually put the book in his hand, and I didn't even think about that. But that is my action figure customs Cabal book there. So yeah, that's another thing that we probably should have done, but it was the same wave, so we've learned our lesson now. Let's see.
That's a dope looking shot right there. That just screams evil.
Yeah.
It happens, but like if
slime
you're
in a cauldron
accessories
with a light underneath it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What's in the cauldron?
Yeah. Slime.
And you got a light in there too?
I put the light that's a loom cube sitting underneath the slime. So every time I had to reshoot this a couple times. Every time I had to reshoot it, I had to take everything out, turn off the light, turn the light back on, reform the slime, put the things back in the slime.
Wait, have you gotten the app for your phone?
I did. I may have used the app to turn it on and off too.
I was like, that app will save you so much time if you have like your lights in a stupid setup. Because
I got 3 of them though, and sometimes like they disconnect, and I'm like, I don't even know which one.
I feel you.
I haven't labeled them, so I'm like, yeah, it's not.
And then the RGB panel doesn't connect to the app either for some weird reason. Only the cubes do.
The RGB, I won't go into a thing, but if we're talking the RGB,
no, you can go for it.
All right, the RGB panel is great.
I love it.
But I've got like these. I've got these Wii lights, WEELYTE. I think it's like something like that. Anyway, you turn them on, you dial up the color you want, right? And then sometimes I have to walk away, or I have to like go. I try to edit it, and then maybe I have to come back and fix something. I turn that light back on, same color with the Loom Cube. Unless I'm doing something wrong, I dial up an RGB color. I turn that thing off, turn it back on. I got to dial up the color again. Like, what the hell is that, man?
Yeah, that is annoying. You're right.
I love Loom Cube, but that's a bit of a mess right there.
Seth said that he has a thunderstorm going on. Felipe, does anyone else get Game of Thrones vibes from Mythic Legions? Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Game of Thrones.
I actually think I asked you,
Ring of
Trevor, one
Power.
time what lights you were using on a certain setup, and you were telling me about these little flat lights that you had.
That's the Wii lights. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I think it was on one of your horse shots. I think it was one of your Arethyr shots.
Yes. Yeah, okay. I used that as an uplight to light the fire.
Yeah, it was super sick.
Seth has a question. It's kind of a 2-for-1. What has been the hardest shot that you've ever had to pull off? And then also, which one is your favorite?
Hardest shot. All right. If you go back to my page, if you can just go back to the grid, it shouldn't be too much further down. And I'll tell you when to stop. You can keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Oh, the Cosmic Legions pictures. We can't not talk about those.
Yeah, we'll talk about those. Those were I mean, in terms of difficulty, some of those are difficult because you're dealing with prototypes, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. But holy crap, they're a pain in the ass. Now keep going a little bit further. There it is, right there. The Darth Vader shot.
Darth Vader. Is it up?
Where'd it go?
Up a little.
I think it's up. Yep, right there.
That one?
Yeah, right there. Damn, what is
this? So this is actually. I'll show you what that is. This is actually. It's right there. Can you see?
Oh shit! There?
So that is a full-size Ralph McQuarrie Darth Vader helmet. There's only 250 of them in the world.
Oh wow!
I managed to get one a couple of years ago. It's been a grail of mine, so I got it. And if you look at the behind the scenes on this, it doesn't seem like much, but I think you got to go back one.
Okay. Go back. This one?
Yeah, this is it. So it would sit and talk and watch this, but I had to build this structure for it because I got the helmet. I'm like, so every May 4th, I try to do a Star Wars shot, like a big, and I try to outdo or at least come up with something interesting and clever, not just here's some Star Wars figures. So this year I was like, I'm going to do this. I got the helmet now. I've been wanting to do this shot. So I had to build all this. How am I going to do the body on this? So I had to make the chest piece. I had to make the arm pieces. That was what I was spray painting earlier in the behind the scenes. And
holy shit!
I had a friend of mine made the custom Chewbacca head and painted that. I made the custom Luke from the Ralph McQuarrie looking designs. And it was a lot. And it was tricky to get the lighting because it's a big object, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm beyond thrilled as the way that came out compared to the original.
Damn,
that's amazing.
That's crazy.
That was hard to do.
Now, is that a light you're using for the background as well?
That's a TV screen. So this is all practical.
Oh, okay.
In camera, everything's obviously aside from the May 4th logo. But I built the little platform they're on. There's just a little fog sitting on there, but it's all practical.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is insane, bro. And that's for your favorite
shots for that. Oh, that's like picking your favorite child,
right?
Go down a little bit more.
It's very good.
It could be a while. Let's keep going. It's so hard to know when you're. Let me see if I can find it and tell you when to stop. It's getting close. I think it's getting close. Sorry, Instagram is the worst way to look at pictures online.
It really is.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's
of course.
Well, I mean, Facebook isn't the best either, though.
Nah, but at least I don't know. It's just easier to see things. I wish Flickr was still a thing because Flickr was great.
But, oh yeah, I remember Flickr.
Keep going a little bit further. Sorry. I like that Tauntaun shot a lot, but that's not it. There it is, right there. Right, go up, and it's the dragon. It's the next one up from the Hulk Avengers shot. What happened? It jumped.
Oh, did it jump
too far up?
Too far up. Yeah. You said the dragon?
Oh. There it is, right there.
Oh,
right on the right. Right.
This
on
one?
Right. That one. Yep. It's probably my favorite shot for atmosphere, concept. Just the way it all. Just the way it all
okay.
came off with the. So that's a
There's a lot going on there.
It was the dragon from the Game of Thrones, the one that the ice, the one that the what's his name, the Night's King, totally changed. The Viserys? No, not Viserys. What's his name? Anyway, that's a mask, so it's a human-sized mask in the background.
Shit, that's dope.
Yeah, you can click forward, and there's a behind the scenes that shows the mask and everything. But just the way
that's
it came
crazy.
out with atmosphere and lighting and the feel of it, like this to me is like the cover of a Dungeons and Dragons.
For sure.
So that's the kind of stuff I love. So like when I did it, I was like, damn, this is probably the best thing I've ever
done. That's sick. Is that a Crashbox Customs diorama?
No, that's one I built actually, which is also why I was kind of like, I built that platform, I built that background piece.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So like, yeah, all those elements combined kind of make it my favorite shot, I think.
Dude,
and then the little bit of fog there.
Yep.
Kills it. Yeah, you definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. That is awesome.
That's sick.
And a lot of people missed the dragon. They didn't see the dragon.
So I know. Like, right.
I'm like, oh, that was the whole thing. Like the dragon's like right there. They're like stealing his treasure, and he's like right there, right in.
He's about to burn him alive.
Toast.
He's like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Fucking kidding me.
Exactly.
Y'all are not leaving in one piece
good questions,
at all.
Though, man. Those are good questions.
That was from Seth. He said that was the questions that he had for you.
Cool.
Storm knocked his ass out again. Hurricane Ian didn't have enough to do with them, so came back for a second round.
Oh, it's all good, Seth. He says, thank you for having me on, and sorry. It was nice to meet you, Trevor. Wish it was only... Yeah. We'll AZ, what's up? What's up, AZ? AZ 200 Guild. What up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Major, you have anything else to about photography?
Do you do any other, like, do you do photography as a job on the side also besides doing, the toy photography?
I try to keep it to the toy photography, but I'm a designer, so graphic designer. So there are occasions when I have to do like product photography. Like lately, I have a pharmaceutical company that is a client, so I've had to do pills, which are not exciting,
not at all,
but difficult to shoot
sometimes
pretty
awesome.
to make them look good.
The reason I ask is because I noticed like all your equipment and stuff seems like it's pretty nice stuff. So I figured you use it for more than just the hobby,
I have, yeah, but I actually invested in most of the equipment for the toy photography, believe it or not. Like I got into it so much and then started doing some professional work where it was like, all right, I made some money from this. I can afford to put it into that, and if I'm going to do something, I have a tendency to like want to do it all the way. So
not just half-ass it.
A lot of this stuff isn't like super expensive. It's more than the casual toy photographer would want to spend on equipment, but it's not, it's not the highest end professional stuff either. So
no, it's all definitely stuff I want to add to my repertoire, like that screen you have and everything. That's pretty dope, and like the light filters and things that you have.
Like a big softbox is a great thing to have. Like if you can get a softbox on a beam, on a beam stand, a boom stand, that's a great thing for atmosphere, like overall atmosphere, like either day or night, colors and stuff like that. That's what I use for like the color on over the Headless Horseman to get that blue night feel.
Okay.
So that's a good investment. Like you can get those fairly cheap. They're LEDs. I'm talking a couple $100, but like sell a couple things, whatever.
Yeah, I've messed with some of the smaller light boxes, and I wasn't a big fan. So having like a nice size, elevated one would be a nice change.
It's a game changer for sure. It's really good to have. But
is there anything else you suggest to like toy photographers, like just equipment that they can have in their arsenal that maybe isn't very expensive stuff that they can up their photos with? Past the person who's already has the DSLR and like the Loom cubes and things like that.
I say this all the time, and I'm not saying you, but like if anybody's watched any of my videos or goes to watch them afterwards, they will notice a pattern of this. But it's a true, like I see a lot of like first time toy photographers or people getting into it, buying like a couple of panels or a Loom cube or whatever it is. and they light one side of the figure, they light the other side of the figure. And sometimes they get to the point where they learn like backlighting is great, but you do have to have some light on the front of the figure, and they'll put a light, aiming at the front of the figure, and it's too much. You're not getting, what I'm getting at is bouncing light, bounce cards, just white card stock, man, just like foam core stuff you get at Staples for $2, and a clip that you can get at Home Depot that you just clip so you can make it stand up on its own. That the clip has two little like, hand grips on it that make the thing stand up. You'll see it in my videos. Bouncing light, one light behind the figure, it's bouncing off the light in the front, or actually taking a light and bouncing it right onto the card, and having it, having that light bounce onto the figure softens the light. So instead of having that harsh light directly on the figure, bounce it. It's like having an umbrella or something, the umbrella light, where the light is diffused and then hits the figure. I mean, you could diffuse with tissue paper too, but like bouncing light, controlling light, using little pieces of cards. I take little pieces of white card and put it underneath. I don't know, there's not one on this one, but there was one on the grave yard one. You can probably see it if you go to the next image, the graveyard one. And I think I did a BTS on that too. Yeah, see, there's a little white card. All that's doing is just lighting up the bottom of the horse's chin a little bit. It brings a little bit of light to the underside of the pumpkin and stuff like that. It's very subtle, but if you take it out, you'll see how dark certain things get. So it gives like form and shape to the figure. And those two cards on the side are doing the same thing. So yeah, cards, bounce light, man. It's the best and cheapest thing you can do. It costs you $5 for everything you need to do it. So
that's an awesome tip, actually, because I have had some issues with trying to like soften lighting sometimes. Usually I end up going with the little bubble diffusers and stuff, but using the light, bouncing the light off would be great too, because when you have only so many lights,
The only light here, well, there's two lights. There's one that's the softbox over the top with blue gels in it to give it that blue atmosphere, and then there's one lume cube that's where the moon is, just off the camera, to give it, a glowy moonlight coming from behind it too. So that's it.
Oh yeah, that's sick. Gil, any other questions from you?
As far as toy photography, man, I just wish I could be as good as Trevor. Not exactly a question, but no, I've just been messing around with stuff, and like kind of like what you say is, so before, like when I first started, I kind of just take my phone and just boom. Oh, okay, well, why isn't it looking like everybody else's? Then I talking to Matt, talking to people like Johnny, talking to people like Cheney, things like that, just talking to people in the community about like, setup, lighting, this, that. I think just I've kind of learned a lot on how to do things like this. I just got to have the time and the patience to be able to have things set up for multiple sessions and or hours, just because I don't always get to do that. I haven't been able to take photos but man, like your photos are definitely giving me inspiration, and I'm waiting for the Horseman to come in so I could take some, but I'm like, man, now that I got Valak, I want to actually do like a setup and everything like
great
that.
Shots with that, man. Yeah, and these are Mythic Legions are so great that you can like shoot those up close too, like do some tight shots with him and they're going to look great. But yeah, I mean, if you can't keep things set up, and I know a lot of people who do this stuff who don't, I have a basement where my collection is, where my studio is. So I can leave that stuff up for forever if I want to, basically.
Yeah.
Unless I have a job coming through or something. But so I'll go back to it and like change something. Whereas I know everybody doesn't have the luxury of that. Like if they use a TV, it's the family TV, and you set up after hours where everybody's asleep, and then you got to take that shit down before everybody gets up in the morning, So
exactly,
it could be tricky, but like if you get your lighting schemes down and don't get too crazy with, you'll get patterns. Like you'll figure out ways that how. Like I don't always, but like you can do it so that there's always a light back here, there's a bounce card here, and that's kind of my shot, and get into a rhythm with that, and then play around with it. You know what I mean? You got to learn the rules before you can break the rules. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think
that's funny. The dad taking the TV to use it for the ACBA.
Like, I know. They come down. People like that.
Dad, we watch TV. Like, no.
It's their kitchen
That's
table.
me. Hi, that's me.
I use my kitchen table sometimes for big setups, so I know how it goes.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, hey,
my lady's like always mad. She's like, I'm having friends over. You gotta clean this shit up.
I mean,
my bad.
Inspiration there is like Jason B. Michael. Like I'm good friends with Jason, and Jason uses his kitchen table, and he has to keep things. He can't keep things up for more than a few hours before his family has to, eat lunch or dinner or something like that. So he's got a quick time where he's got to get things done, and you're done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it could be done.
Matt, you should ask them to like help you holding up the lights and stuff like that.
Oh, they do. Believe me. If I get too crazy and too intense, my lady will come in. I'll have like the RGB in my mouth trying to like get above the figure. She'll be like, "Do you want me to hold that for you?" I'm like, "Please do."
Oh.
And then my kid will come in. I'm like, "You come here."
Here's another good cheap tip. Let me show you this thing.
Harlow, what's up?
Hey, I'm gonna have to bounce in a minute though. I've used up all my break time.
It's all good.
Just show you this one real quick thing. So this is you can find these on my Amazon page if you don't mind.
Ooh, hell yeah!
It's just a gooseneck thing, but you can clip all sorts of stuff on here. So you could put a clip on here that for I don't know. This is a photography tool, but like to clip a light or whatever onto it, or you can.
Matt, you're gonna need that.
Loom cubes like goes right on.
Or your poster board or whatever. Yeah. Your background, your little.
They're fantastic, and they're only like $13 a piece or something. It's like,
I'm gonna buy a bunch of them then.
All your hands trying to do the fog, trying to do the remote, trying to forget about it. It's you got to have extra hands.
Wait till my lady sees this on the table. all these hands.
He's gonna have clips. 8 of them, like a fucking octopus.
Exactly. She'd be like, "What the fuck? What kind of human centipede shit is this?"
That's funny. Well, Matt,
right, guys,
I know that you
gotta
go
get back to work. The place is probably burning down right now while I'm out here. Hey, it was nice to meet you, Trevor. I can't wait to see you at Legion's Con, dude. I'm definitely gonna have to like steal some of your magic while I'm there with you. Gonna have to steal some inspiration from you.
Yeah, we'll talk. We got plenty of time to talk, so we'll chat.
All right, guys.
It's good
I'll see you later. Have a good rest of your interview, Gil.
Yeah. All right, Matt.
I had to crash it for a little bit.
Well, Trevor, it's just going to be back to you and me, bro. I just wanted you to hop on with the guys real quick. I was surprised that they were able to hop on, man. I was just like, oh, shit, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. Seth and Matt was able to make it, but thank you for answering our questions about that. And
of course.
Like I said, I wanted to dig into the photography a little bit, so I appreciate you sharing your tips and tricks with that. And just awesome amazingness. I've been hearing your name around the community, the toy community, for quite a while now. I just barely started collecting again back in like 2015, 2016. At one point, I sold off my whole entire collection just to pay for bills and stuff like that. And I had been collecting for a nice long time, from like high school, partially into college. Like I was collecting, and then just because get that first apartment with your wife and kids and stuff like that. I sold off everything, liquidated comics, just liquidated. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's the important thing. Now I'm like financially, 2015 to now, like I'm at a financial point where I could collect and everything else.
There you go.
Play with the adult toys, right?
There you go.
But yeah, man, like it's pretty cool to sit down and I want to say probably since like I've been collecting 2015, 2016, I've heard your name in the community and seen your shots and stuff like that. Maybe 2017.
I think I got in about 2015. I think I just missed the beautiful Instagram algorithm change that, like, beforehand everybody was just like racking up followers like
left and right, bro.
Man, it was fantastic. 2014, 2013 were like that. Like you could just like put out a picture and you'd get an instant 3,000 followers.
Oh, for sure.
And I missed that by like months.
Me
and they
too.
changed it, and then I had it like so. I struggled with not a lot of followers for a long time, and it is what it is. Like it's not all about that now. At this point, like. I don't know how many I have, and it's not as many as like Sergeant Bananas or whatever, but I don't really care. Like I'm just doing it for myself. I'm glad that I have the Mythic Legions thing. And I think somebody asked that question. I didn't answer it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not putting the pressure on myself to try and like post daily or anything like that, which like I did before when I first started out. It's tempting to do that when you're first starting out, but
yeah,
just enjoy it, man. It's just a hobby. You know what I mean? There isn't really a lot of money in it, honestly. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, like when I first started, it was like, oh, I want to take pictures. Oh, I want to do reviews. Oh, I want to do this. I kind of dabbled in all of it, and I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand. Like if you collect toys, you watch reviews on them. You also see like the pictures, and you're like, oh, that's fucking badass. I kind of want to do something like that.
Hell yeah.
I feel like all that's just different aspects, different points of being a collector, different parts of the community that all of us get into and whatnot. But I was like, I can't just solely focus on taking photos. I can't solely focus on doing reviews because reviews, believe it or not, I mean, you do reviews, they take forever. Yeah, you only see about 10 to 15 minutes of it, but overall to get that anywhere from like 7 to 15-minute video, like, dude,
nuts.
I've had to put in 5 to 6 hours, if not more, for everything set up. Recording everything, fucking up your lines a million times, or whatever you want to say a million times, then something falls over, then the editing,
roll footage, and all sorts of shit. And like, I know, man. I mean, I like doing it, but I don't like the editing process. It's not really my favorite thing. Like, I would rather spend 4 or 5 hours, which I have regularly, on a photo, and like just have that photo be like, yeah, that's great, and then I've gotten myself into doing the review stuff, but I'm trying to do like a shoot and review. So my reviews are like, here's a quick look at the figure. Here's everything you get. I'm not going into deep articulation and stuff like that. I'm just going to show you what it looks like in a picture, how it moves, and then come back and tell you what I think about the figure in that respect. So, but that is still a shitload of editing, man. It's still a ton of editing. It sucks. I don't like it.
One thing that I found a little bit easier for me, because I just kind of gave up. I toss reviews to the side, and I'm just focusing on the podcasting. But one thing I do, when I get a new figure, I take pictures of just like the outer packaging, tray pick, then switching out a couple of the accessories, switching up a little bit of the armor, getting a couple poses, and just like kind of like a small little review, just through pictures, kind of like how you're talking about, just like how it could move, how it could look.
But that stuff, like, you could do that stuff on Instagram for the reels, and like that sells.
Yeah.
Like, it's over and over again. It's been proven. Like, you can take a beautiful picture, and it gets X amount of likes, and then you can take a picture of a brand new product that you just got. Maybe you're a little earlier than everybody else, or you're one of the first, in the box, in a tray, and that thing's going to get like 5, 6, 7,000 views and likes. And it's like, it's nuts. Like, I wasted all these many hours taking this picture of this beautiful shot, and like, all you want to see it is in my hand or in a box. The hand shots like Jay Hernandez does. Like, thousands of likes. That just doesn't matter.
Or the tray pick.
It's nuts. So just take it out of the box, move it around, do a 30-second review, and there you go. You're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the
editing. It's a lot easier, less stressful.
Exactly.
Spend way less time on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, for Legion's Con, man, what would you recommend to somebody first time? Like I said, like me and the guys, it's going to be our first time. What would you suggest as like a kind of like what to expect, do's and don'ts, tips and tricks?
Do's and don'ts. Well, what to expect is it's going to be overwhelming. There's going to be, on top of the Four Horsemen being there, a table full of stuff to buy from them, the exclusives to get in line for, the stuff that you're going to be, all the custom parts, and just all the custom makers, that are even people who are just displaying stuff. It's going to be overwhelming. It was overwhelming last year, and they're going to have, it's not quite twice as many vendors, but it's probably another 30-40% on top of that. It's going to be nuts, and it's going to take you a while, and I think you're going to want to take a while to walk around and really look at everything. On top of, you're in the cabal, all these people that you're going to like know, you know what I mean, but not necessarily know what they look like, or you know what I mean. Like, so Walter said he's made name tags, which was my idea. I'm like, we gotta have name
That's
tags because
wild.
I'm terrible. Like, I'll either remember your handle or I'll remember your face and forget your name. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
So, and it's not even a slate. Like somebody said, like, oh my God, yeah, this is great. Like, I haven't seen you online. I just see your posts. You know what I mean? So, that's going to be overwhelming. So, I would just say, plan to be there the whole day. I don't know if you guys are going for both days, but plan on being there at least.
We're getting there
day.
Thursday night.
Awesome.
We're gonna hook up with Stefan Detour for a little bit and
nice.
hook up with Mark DeRosa, Dub Toys NY. I don't know if you know him.
I do. Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna hook up with him a little bit on Thursday as well. Friday, we're basically open in the morning, but then we're gonna link up with Jeremy in the afternoon, evening for setup, because he said that me and the guys could go in early to meet everybody, take pictures, video, interview everybody.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, because we're actually trying to just just get footage and interview like all the vendors if we can, and
cool.
We're gonna interview just people attending, and just we're just trying to get as much footage
right
as
behind
we can.
you after I get set up, like, interviewing all these people as well, because I've told them that we're gonna try and do like a little live for YouTube or something at some point. Maybe that day, probably that day, because Saturday and Sunday are going to be nuts
right?
for us anyway. But that's great that you're going to be there early on Friday. That's really cool. That's going to be fun. But yeah, I mean, Saturday and Sunday, like, I don't know what to tell people, because it's going to be different. Like, I would say, if you want any stuff, if your main reason for going there is to get figures, like if you're new to it and you missed Alithia, I would say you might want to head over to the Four Horsemen line relatively early, if not first. You know what I mean? Like, it might be the first thing you want to line up for, because as far as I know, from what Jeremy said, the exclusives will be plentiful for people who attend.
Sweet.
You know what I mean? They know how many people are attending. They know how many they need. So it's not going to be like, oh, we ran out, 2 hours into it. So, and then, I might even wait a little bit more on the exclusives and just walk around and look, take everything in, buy something if it calls out to your name, but otherwise look around first, because there's so much stuff, man. And it's going to be like, oh, I'm going to plop down $50 for this. And you walk around the corner and you go, oh, damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that for sure. And then, obviously just have fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah. There was like a couple of figures that I was looking at that I was like, man, if I could find them, I'll definitely get them. I can't remember the exact name, but the Motu inspired. Oh my gosh, the names.
Was it one of the latest ones? Deluxe?
No, not one of the latest ones. Jesus Christ, the is it Man at Arms? Man at Arms.
Man at Arms is the Motu character, but which one?
I can't remember what it was. But it's like the orc with the Man at Arms colorway. I kind of want to get that. Is that what it is? Yeah. I was like, man, he looks fucking badass.
You're not gonna find him.
No,
not at the Four Horsemen table. No, that is. I
know not there. But if somebody's willing to, if somebody like selling them, I'd be willing to drop some coin on
there
them.
May be some people selling figures. I don't know. I mean, Joe Viteri, the guy who runs the Jersey Toy Con and runs this with Jeremy, has a lot of older Legions. He was selling some at the first one. I don't think he did it last year. He would be the guy, because I didn't remember a lot of people bringing figures to sell. I thought about it.
Okay,
but
I'm surprised.
I've got too much stuff to bring otherwise besides the figures. And you're kind of like, the stuff I have, like, you can probably go over to the Horseman's table and buy it for like
get it
retail, or near wholesale, rather than like buy it from me. I'm trying to sell it for $60. You know what I mean? So, so I'm probably not going to do that. But you never say never. But that figure is very rare and very hard to find.
Yeah. So I'm just taking a little bit of extra coin, just in case I do see it, and might be willing to pull the trigger, get it. Tip. Yeah.
Bring cash. Yeah.
That's what I've heard, is that
not everybody's
going to
have. I'll have a card reader. I could do PayPal too, but I don't know what the Wi-Fi is going to be like in there. So just in case, bring cash.
Take some cash. Take a couple hundred in cash just in case.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. The good thing, like I'm super excited about staying there at La Quinta where they're having it. It's like cool. Like if I have anything, I could just go upstairs, go grab the cash, and come back down, or whatever the case. Exactly. If I grab a couple figures, or 6 or 10, just take them upstairs real quick.
Carry that troll around with you all day. You can just take it upstairs.
Yeah, I think that'll be the smart thing and good thing for people to do if they're staying there. Just run that shit upstairs real quick.
Absolutely.
And then enjoy everything. Yep. What else would you recommend?
I would recommend coming by my table and buying some stuff.
What are you going to be having over there?
All right, so I'm going to have prints, obviously. So I'm going to have some stuff like this. It's very hard to see in this glare, but
I gave you the full screen. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know if I can bring it closer if it helps with the lighting, but
a little bit.
Just take it. Let me take it out of here.
Out of the plastic.
This is Eric Miller's custom that he auctioned off for Justin's. I don't know if you're around for that, but
yeah.
So he wanted me to take a picture of it before he sent it.
That is awesome.
So I did that. And,
that's beautiful.
All sorts of other stuff. If you've seen any of my pictures on Instagram, I probably have some of the better Mythic Legion stuff. I will have the Furious 4 picture that I did of the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me guys sitting around the table. I'm going to have a bunch of those for sale. I have something else. I will have the dragon shot. I'll have that dragon shot.
I might have to pick that up from you then.
I'll have the one with the horses with the army of Laodiceus. A lot of people like that. And it ran out last year, so a lot of people were looking for that one, so I'll have that again. Plus, I'm going to have some stuff like this.
Oh, shit. That is dope. What is that? That's a shield?
Yeah, it's a shield. Cabal. This was Planetary Dog Toys, I think, made that. Yeah, Planetary Dog Toys made this. So I made a bunch of these.
That is fucking awesome.
Shields like this.
That's cool.
One of these, a couple of these, I think.
See, that's the other thing that's so amazing about like Legions is the third-party stuff is just... It kicks it up. It gives it a whole nother flavor, a whole nother personality. Just you kick up your figure from like a 10 to a fucking 15, 20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the full screen to show these things off.
Trying to get it to
beautiful sculpts.
Yeah. So I've got a bunch of heads. I don't know what I'm gonna bring, but I've got a bunch.
Santa. Oh man, Santa! Holy shit!
Yeah, this came out good. And then I know Eric Miller's doing these, and they're better than mine, but I'll have a few of these little book things.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I recognize those from your shots.
Yep.
Those are cool. I'm going to have to.
And I'm trying to make some more breads. So I did all these little breads. The people were kind of like, oh, those are so cool.
You ever think about just painting up the top of that whole one a little bit different to make some conchas, pan dulce?
No, but now maybe.
It's pretty similar, man. Some oversized monster conchas.
That would be awesome.
You should go for it, bro. You got me. Let me get a dozen.
Really. I will think about that. I'll see if I have time. I'm running out of time, man, to do some of this custom work because, like, I got other stuff. But I do have one more big thing that I'm going to bring. That I think people will be fairly excited about. I think I might announce that tomorrow night on the Legion's Lounge. If I can get my shit together, I will try to do that. If not, it'll be one of the next shows. But it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Dope. Yeah. Well, thank you, Trevor. I appreciate you devoting like an hour and a half of your time. I say we go ahead and we can call it here, man. If you want to go ahead and plug yourself and, everything that you got going on.
So I passed the geek quiz. That's over.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna get a membership card. You're gonna get the little care package. Yeah, Fabulous. You're good to go, bro. Absolutely.
Plugging. Well, you can follow me on Instagram, 16_shooter, and I actually could get 16shooter, but now that screws up everything else that I have 16_shooter on, so I'm just sticking with it. 16_shooter on there, on Twitter, I'm 16shooter, on YouTube. 1/6 shooter or shoot your toys with 1/6 shooter. Lots of toy tutorials there. If anybody's watching this who hasn't seen the Legions Lounge and you're into Legions, what are you doing? It's a great show, I think.
Right.
We have my wife is going to kill me guys on tomorrow. The inspiration for the Furious 4
nice.
exclusive. I think they have some news. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy because those guys are nuts. And I have a 1/6 show if you're into 1/6 on Fridays called the 1/6 Pack. We drink beer and look at 1/6 figures. And what else? I'm going to be at Legions Con doing a panel on Sunday, I think at noon. And I'll have my table there with all the stuff I just showed you. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Come on by. Oh, I can't hear you. What happened?
I muted myself. My bad. I know for the description of the video, I did put your link to your IG, your link tree, and your YouTube page. So
cool.
Anybody who's interested, check out the description on this video, and then you could just make sure to subscribe, follow Trevor. Make sure to subscribe and follow with us, the Geek Out Show, and Black Hole Comics everywhere. So yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you over at Legions Con in a month. We're 4 weeks away. It's crazy.
I know, it's nuts, man. Can't wait.
Can't wait, man.
Wait. It's gonna be great.
Well, till next time, guys, make sure to stay geeked up and geek out. Later.